The big development today has been the release of uncensored footage from the body cams of Hamas terrorists that were recorded during the October 7th massacre. Israel had hesitated to release this footage thus far, but now, seeing the narrative around the world and the pressure building on Israel, the government decided it needs to put out that information to remind the world about the barbarities that have been perpetrated by Hamas terrorists on the Israeli people on October the 7th. International journalists here in Israel were invited to a big screening where they saw, without their phones, without any recording equipment, what those body cams of those terrorists actually saw. Take a look at this report.
The cameras.
As we work to defeat the terror organization that brutalized our people, we are witnessing a Holocaust denial-like phenomenon evolving in real time.
Hamas terrorists went on a killing frenzy as the October 7th siege unfolded. This video shows Hamas seek out an The kibbutz in southern Israel bears testament to the true horrors of Hamas. This was probably a preschool for kids. The doodles and paintings on walls now covered by bullet marks.
So this isn't a replica, this is an actual rocket that has been recovered after a particular attack. Obviously we're told that we can't touch any of the rockets that land here in Sderot because there are booby traps. Many of them are misfired rockets, so they may not have exploded. But this is actually what it looks like. It's a pretty heavy thing. Many such debris are already there and are part of investigation. But this kind of know-how, you can see the tail fins, you can see the booster module. The very thick metallic fabrication shows that the Hamas has been able to garner this kind of know-how sitting inside Gaza. They do get rocket technology from Iran as well, but the know-how to convert everyday metal tubes from pipes, etc., into usable rockets that have wrought so much devastation is a matter of great concern, especially since Hamas is able to make these kinds of rockets sitting inside Gaza using sending Al-Qassam rockets still into Israel.
The big focus continues to remain the 200 hostages that are still inside the Gaza Strip in the captivity of the Hamas. So they're all, perhaps in some of the buildings that you can see in these pictures. We don't know. Are they in the north? Are they in the south? There is no idea. The fact that 2 hostages were released has actually piled on the tension and suspense over what's going to really happen, because the big question continues to be, if this is phase 1, what is phase 2 and phase 3 going to look like? Are negotiations really happening where the non-military hostages from Gaza will all be released very quickly? We don't know just yet, but in the interim at least, while that attains a semblance of clarity, Israel is not backing off, not even an inch, not even for a minute. We're reporting now from Kibbutz Be'eri, which is one of the closest agricultural communes to the Gaza Strip. This is a kibbutz where the destruction is not only apparent, but the void that's been left behind is particularly devastating. Over 100 people were massacred by the Hamas right here at this particular kibbutz. The destruction is very, very plain to see. But worse than that, over 100 hostages were taken from just this one kibbutz, which means that over 100 of 200 plus hostages that are currently in Gaza in the captivity of the Hamas terrorist group are from this kibbutz alone. The destruction is not just in terms of the little pieces of houses that you can see here, but the damage has been devastating pretty much throughout the kibbutz. Lots of farms and fields have been destroyed as a result of rocket fire. As you can see, a huge amount of structural damage to all of the structures here at this particular kibbutz. And as we continue to report here, the Israel army has completely come in and taken over. They've got tanks stationed outside. They've got a lot of personnel deployed here who are obviously going to be here. None of the people who survived obviously are still at this kibbutz, but hopefully they will make their way back at some point of time. But it's just destruction as far as the eye can see. in Kibbutz Be'eri. Israel actually took another step which is also very interesting and serves as a kind of precursor to what's going to happen today. They invited international journalists to the world-renowned forensic laboratory here in Israel to inspect for themselves the post-mortem reports and some of the remains. There were small bags of body parts. Some of them actually got a chance to see slides, of those parts removed. So they actually got to see what happened to hundreds of these Israelis who were butchered on October the 7th. So it creates a mood, it creates a narrative, it puts the facts on the ground. Israel has so far held back on releasing too much information about what happened on October the 7th. But now it believes that the international pressure has gotten a little too much. Even President Biden has been repeatedly cautioning about what's happening in Gaza. He's released, aid into Palestine. He's talked about a two-state solution. So Israel believes, even though it has its allies, international support for more violence is running a little thin, and that's why it needs to create a case. And by putting out these shocking, unbridled, uncensored pictures, it believes the world will once again be reminded of what happened on October the 7th, and therefore a mood could be created to support what's coming next.
India's #1 political reporter
defines what seems to be happening, vendetta politics. कोई दूध के से धुला हुआ नहीं है.
Unmatched eye, unmatched experience.
The world has changed. My black hair has become grey as well.
And with unmatched passion for the story.
Do not monopolize the conversation.
When it's 100% news that matters. It's News Today with Rajdeep Sardesai. Monday to Friday, 9 p.m. Only on India Today TV. India's #1 political reporter.
Defines what seems to be happening, vendetta politics. कोई दूध के से धुला हुआ नहीं है.
Unmatched eye, unmatched experience.
The world has changed. My black hair has become grey as well.
And with unmatched passion for the story.
Do not monopolize the conversation.
When it's 100% news that matters. It's News Today with Rajdeep Sardesai. Monday to Friday, 9 p.m. Only on India Today TV. India's #1 political reporter.
Defines what seems to be happening, vendetta politics. कोई दूध के से धुला हुआ नहीं है.
Unmatched eye, unmatched experience.
The world has changed. My black hair has become grey as well.
And with unmatched passion for the story.
Do not monopolize the conversation.
When it's 100% news that matters. It's News Today with Rajdeep Sardesai. Monday to Friday, 9 p.m. Only on India Today TV.